Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Relationship Talks with Adeze Adhana. I hope that you have been enjoying all the videos that I have been sharing on this channel. And if you know that you've been enjoying them or they have blessed you in one way or the other, can I take this moment to specially ask that you please subscribe to this channel if you are yet to subscribe to this channel. If you're watching me for the first time, please do me a favor, click the subscribe button, click the notification sign so that every time a new video comes up, you are notified. I try my best to make sure that I put up a video every week. And if you like any of our videos, please do not hesitate to click the like button, and please do not hesitate to share. You never know whose relationship you might be saving just by clicking the share button. Okay, on this channel we talk about God, we talk about marriage, we talk about relationships, we talk about life. And this is a God-based channel because I am not just a marriage counselor, I'm not just a marriage or relationship coach. I am also a woman who loves God so much. I am trying to look for the best way to express it because I am absolutely nothing without Him. So there is nothing that I do that is outside of Him. And God did not create an institution that He is not going to be a part of or He doesn't want to be a part of. You cannot take God outside of marriage and expect to do marriage right. So on this particular channel, we talk about the godly way of doing marriage, not the earthly way of doing marriage. The world has its own, suggestions about how to make marriage work, but we bring reality and we bring spirituality into reality. You combine both of them, and then that's when you start to have a God kind of marriage. So today we will be talking about things that successful couples do, or successful couples do these things. These are the things that they are in the habit of doing, and that's why you see their relationship thriving, or you see when you see a healthy relationship, there are things that they are doing that is significantly contributing to the health of that relationship or to the health of that marriage. The first thing that successful couples do, or healthy couples do, is that they listen to each other. When both parties are talking in a successful relationship or in a healthy relationship, they are not listening to reply. They are not listening with the intention to have something to say. A lot of us say we are listening to our spouses or our partners, but we are actually not listening actively. We are listening passively, and we are busy taking points that we will use to counteract whatever it is that they're saying. Or we feel that they are discussing something with us and we feel like, no, I have a better opinion, I want to say this. You're just focusing on what you want to say next, not really on what your spouse is saying to you at that time. Successful couples have mastered the art of listening actively. That means that when your spouse is saying something, you're really paying attention to what they're saying. You're putting yourself in their shoes, especially if they're trying to tell you what they really feel about a particular situation. Let's say you guys are dealing with an issue or a confrontation, or there is something going wrong in the relationship, and they are trying so hard to communicate to you. What a healthy partner does, or in a successful relationship or a healthy relationship, what they practice is, when I am telling you my mind, when I am sharing my thoughts with you, I need you to really listen. They are really paying attention, not just with the intent to say something. Some of us listen just because we want to say something. You feel like you have a better opinion, you have the perfect solution. Even sometimes your partner might just be confiding in you on a problem they are dealing with, or something they are finding hard to wrap around. But instead of waiting for them to finish what they are saying, you're already trying to give them a solution. There is always a problem when you do that, because the person feels like you're not listening. You're just trying to fix the thing, but without even really listening to what I really need you to do. So when you are a partner, or you are in a relationship or in a marriage, if you really want your marriage or relationship to be healthy, you need to actually pay attention to your spouse when they are talking. Listen actively before you pay attention to them completely. Let them finish whatever it is they have to say. Then you try to find a way to help them. And be sure that the help you're offering at that time is really the help that they need. They just need you sometimes to listen, and that's it. Sometimes your wife wants you to just listen. It's not like she's asking you to fix it. She just needs somebody to talk to, just listen, and that's just enough therapy on its own. Sometimes your husband just wants you to listen to him talk about his whole day. He's not asking you to tell him how he could have done things better. He just wants someone to listen. So number one thing that healthy couples do, successful couples do, is that they listen to each other. Number two thing that healthy or successful couples do is that they encourage one another. When one person is down, they encourage each other. They don't see you down and ignore you and behave like nothing is wrong. For example, or for instance, you see your husband is not in such a great mood, and you can see it all over him. If you're someone, a partner that pays attention, you will know when your husband or your wife is not in a great mood. You can always ask them in a very respectful way, find out what they are dealing with. If they are willing to share it with you, then be able to do what? Number one, listen attentively. Don't remember rule number one, listen attentively. Okay, so when they open up and start to share with you, just please listen to them. And if they choose not to talk about it, maybe at that time they do not feel good enough or comfortable enough to talk about what it is that is affecting them, or what is leaving them so discouraged or depressed or sad or not in a so great mood, give them space, but let them know that you are there for them. Encourage them, send them encouraging words. You might not really know what they are dealing with, but just send them a word of encouragement. You can always text your spouse, even though both of you are in the home. You can always send them a message. You can always leave a note somewhere around the house where you know that your husband or your wife will see it. Just an encouraging word to let them know that you believe in them, that you love them, that you'll always be here for them. Whenever they are willing to talk, you'll be here to listen to them. That alone makes a lot of difference. So healthy couples, successful couples, they encourage one another. Number three, they celebrate each other's accomplishments. They are not intimidated when their partner succeeds. There are men that when they see their wives moving very fast or succeeding or thriving in any part of their lives, they start to feel intimidated. They start to try to cover that woman, to hide her or to limit her. That's the word, because you feel like she's succeeding more than you, and then you feel that you want to limit her, you want to limit her movements, you don't want people to see her, you don't want her to continue to actually thrive. When you find yourself being threatened by your spouse's growth or your partner's growth, there is a fundamental problem with you, and that problem needs to be dealt with. Healthy couples, successful couples, they celebrate each other's accomplishments because they know and they understand that if my husband wins, I win. If my wife wins, I win. Whatever we do, we are winning together. I'm not going to sit down here and watch you fail. That's what successful couples do. They are not just going to sit down or sit back and say, what's my business? It's your business. If the man fails, you fail. If your wife fails, you fail. I don't know how people are in a marriage and you see your husband not doing well and you have all the money, you cannot help your husband. It's a big problem. If you can help your husband, help your husband. Successful couples celebrate each other's accomplishments. When one person does well, they celebrate the person. If the person needs some push, you push the person. If the person needs more finances, the person who has the bigger chunk of the finances in the marriage will help this other person to rise, because when this person wins, you win. So healthy and successful couples do what? They celebrate each other's accomplishments. They are not intimidated. They are not threatened by their partner's rising or their partner's success. Instead, they support you. They encourage you to continue to reach for the best, because they know that as you grow, they grow. As you thrive, they also thrive. All right. So they celebrate each other's accomplishments. Number four, they are willing to compromise for each other. Successful couples understand that it cannot be their way all the time. If you ask any healthy couple you see, they will tell you that sometimes it's her way, sometimes it's my way. It cannot always be your way. If you're somebody who wants to always have your way in a relationship, it just has to be your way. There is a problem. You can never ever have a healthy relationship. Successful couples, healthy couples understand that they will have to compromise for each other per time. Sometimes it's going to be the wife that will make that compromise. Sometimes it's going to be the husband that will make that compromise. If both of you in a relationship or in a marriage haven't learned the art of compromise, you're going to always be at loggerheads because you will never be able to reach an agreement on anything. And also, even if you reach an agreement and one person finds out that I'm always the one compromising, in the long run, that person is going to rebel against that marriage. Something is just going to wake up one day in that person. The person is just going to say, listen, I have been the one compromising, bending in this relationship, and I am no longer going to be the person who is going to bend the rules. And that's the day that your marriage starts to fall apart. But if you understand that it cannot be my way all the time, it cannot be my partner's way all the time, if you both understand that we have to be willing to compromise to have a great relationship, if you both understand that, then you can be able to reach agreements easily. You guys will be able to resolve disagreements easily. And where there is no strife, the marriage will thrive. Where there is no strife, the marriage will thrive. Every time there is strife in a relationship, it's killing the marriage. When I say strife, it means you're not even able to reach an agreement. People will always disagree. You will, as couples, you must always disagree. There is no relationship. Don't let anybody lie to you. There is no relationship that is void of disagreements because you people see things differently. So it's the ability to bring your differences and align them in such a way that nobody feels left out. That's what makes the difference. So successful couples are always willing to compromise. They don't leave the compromise to one person. One person should always be the one compromising. No, sir. No, ma. You cannot always expect your husband or your wife to compromise and expect to have a thriving relationship or a thriving marriage. Okay? Number 5 on the list, they are positive. They don't speak negatively of each other. They don't talk negatively of each other behind their backs or in front of them. They don't speak negatively about their marriage. Even if they have their own struggles in their marriage, they don't talk down their marriage. They speak positive words into their lives, into each other's lives. They speak positive words into their marriage. The problem with speaking negatively into the life of your spouse is that everything negative you speak into the life of your spouse, with time, it will come back to you because your words are seeds. When you release them, you're releasing them into the fertile ground of the earth, of the universe. And whatever is sown as a seed on this earth must come back as a tree, like it will grow and it will bear fruits. And those fruits, you're the one that will eat of it. So when you constantly speak negatively to your spouse, negatively about your spouse, oh, he's a good for nothing man, she's a good for nothing woman, he will always be good for nothing to you. And you find out that this man is actually great for somebody else, but never great for you. Or this man will be a blessing to a lot of people and never be a blessing to you. Or the woman will be such a blessing to other people, but you will never get blessed by that woman being in your life. Why? Because you've never spoken negatively into the life of this person. So you cannot eat what you have not sown. Listen, you always reap what you sow. You cannot sow maize and expect to reap mango when it's time for harvest. It's the maize you sow as a seed that will come to you as a cup with many seeds. So be careful of the words you speak into the life of your partner. Always remember that successful couples speak positively into the life of each other. The last one, which is the 6th one, is that they defend each other publicly and privately. Don't just defend your husband or your wife privately and in the public you let the world slaughter them. No. When you see them talking down about your husband or about your wife, if for any reason, whatever your husband has done is true outside, First of all, defend your husband publicly. You can always sort things out inside. Don't be the one that is first to send your husband or your wife to the world to roast. No, defend your husband publicly, defend your husband privately. Defend your wife publicly, defend your wife privately. Don't defend your wife privately and publicly insult her. No, it doesn't work like that. Whichever way you treat your spouse in the public is how other people will treat them. If you talk down to your husband publicly, the public will not respect your husband. If you talk down to your wife publicly, the public will not respect your wife. So you cannot treat your wife like a queen in the house and treat her like a servant outside, or treat her like a nobody outside. Nobody knows how you're treating your wife inside. But if you treat her as a queen outside and you treat her as a queen at home, it's balanced. You will not see an angry wife. And if you treat your husband well at home and you also treat him well outside, you will not have an angry husband. So learn to defend your husband publicly, learn to defend your husband privately, learn to defend your wife publicly, and learn to defend your wife privately. I hope that you have been able to pick some few points that might be applicable to your relationship or to your marriage. God's desire is for us to have a healthy marriage. God's desire for us is for us to live in love, to fight battles together, not for us to fight each other. I hope that you practice some of these points, and I promise you that if you are intentional about practicing these points that I have listed today, if you are intentional about them with your partner, with your spouse, your marriage will thank you for it. Till I see you all next week, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and do not forget to practice these successful points. God bless you all.